Right there it is, ladies and gents. The beginning of JLF. I cannot believe that I've never heard of JLF before, like a week ago, and I'm gonna give it a shot. So I'm just a rookie, I'm just a beginner, and I haven't done a ton of research on it, but it's basically Jadam liquid fertilizer. I've also heard it called FLF, free liquid fertilizer, but it begins with a barrel. It doesn't need to be a 55-gallon barrel. It can be a 5-gallon bucket. But you just need to get a container. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna recruit the ladies and we're gonna start clipping all of this green stuff and filling up buckets and hopefully get this halfway full and then top it off with water. That's step number 1. All right, so I just grabbed my little push lawnmower with the bag on it and clipped up a few, so you can see here, just got some grass and whatever was growing there. Now, I'm certainly not an expert on JLF. There are many other resources. Google it. There are a lot of other YouTube videos on it. This is just me showing you what I'm gonna do and give it a shot and see how it works out for the inexperienced gardener or the inexperienced JLF guy. So let me get this dumped in there. So I got about 2.5 bags of grass clippings with whatever weeds. We've been taking some branches off the trees, some more flowers and weeds, and just whatever was actually green and growing right about now. And I got a lot to pick from, so we're just about half full. We're almost there, so we'll keep going. Okay, so we've added tons of stuff, onion tops, whatever we could find out here that was green. And this is my inoculant. This is just what's left of a rotting hay bale and some wood chips. So you're supposed to get something with a good bioload in it, some live bacteria or whatever, microorganisms, to kickstart it when you add your water. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that. I also threw a mushroom in there as well. But yeah, let's see. We can probably fit quite a bit more stuff in there, actually. Looks like we got a lot more work to do. So yeah, I'm out here with my Jadam liquid fertilizer experiment / trial, and I just seen this, probably already mentioned it, but I'm so excited about this. I just seen this a few days ago on the YouTube, and I had a bucket lying around, and of course I just had to jump right into it. But over time I'm going to be watching some more videos and doing some more research on it. But here's the basics. You already saw step 1. Get your bucket, fill it with junk, put your water in there, fill it up with water. Got to find yourself a mixing stick, which I did, and there you go. Now you're going to want to set this out of the way because it's my understanding that it gets pretty smelly. So you want to keep it in the shade. You don't want to be baking it or cooking it in direct sunlight. So I got it up underneath the shade, kind of in the back corner of the garden, out of the way. But let's take a closer look at what's inside. So you guys saw earlier that it was mostly grass, and it's still mostly grass, but we did grab a bunch of tree clippings, and you can see it's probably a little bit thicker than it needs to be. Sorry. So as you guys can see, it's probably a little bit thicker than it needs to be, but it's gonna break down over time. So there we go. That is it. And then we got this cover. It goes on there, and then this ring, which I'm not going to tighten it down or anything. But yeah, super excited about this, and the reason being is it's super easy. It's cheap. It's basically free, and it's not a chemical fertilizer or a store-bought fertilizer. I'm understanding that there's a shortage of fertilizer. I don't know because I don't buy it. See that bee almost get me? Anyways, this is great. This is great stuff. I am in desperate need of fertilizer down here, and I was very reluctant on using any quote unquote organic fertilizers or things like that. And most of that stuff is super expensive anyway. So what I really love about this is that you just take from your local area. You take anything that's growing, you take your garden clippings, you take clippings from tree clippings, brush clippings, grass clippings from your yard, throw it in a bucket with some water, and just wait. And that's it. It's my understanding that you can also use animal guts, dead animals, chicken manure, manures of certain types. But this is being my first bucket, we're gonna stay all green with this. There's been some question about that other stuff, but I don't really know enough yet to make that decision. So we'll try one later on, but first let's go with this. I guess the questions that I'm having today as I start this bucket is, how do you know when to change the dilution? How do you know what your dilution should be? 30 to 1, 50 to 1, 100 to 1, 10 to 1. Is there a test that you can run? Do you just look at how dark the water is? That's kind of things that I got to figure out. I know there's a timeline, like 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6, 6 to a year, and you do your dilution based on that, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So I'll look that up, and we'll get to that in a later video when I get closer to using this stuff. I also don't really know how I'm going to measure its effectiveness. I guess I can fertilize some plants and not others and see the difference, but we'll see. All that stuff will be upcoming. Today was just a quick introduction, a really basic how-to, and I just want to get that word out there because this is back to the old ways. I mean, this is how apparently they did it years ago, and it's how we should all be doing it these days instead of using chemical fertilizers. Let's get our earth back to us and healthy again and grow some great vegetables. So stay tuned for more videos on this topic, and we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching. All right, so here we are with the JLF about 1 week in. Woo, man, it's turned pretty brown. Ooh, it's pretty whiffy. So initially when I put this in, there was a lot of action in there, a lot of bubbling going on. Ooh, there's some heat coming out of here right now. And it just pushed everything to the top. It pushed the lid off and a little bit of the solids came out. But after that initial put in, I couldn't really mix it up in the beginning. But now you can see that it's definitely getting, there we go. See, a lot more easier to mix around in there. And when people tell you that it's smelly, it's definitely smelly. Ooh, man, it smells rotten. But I want to add some more water in here today. Let's go ahead and do that. The hose out here in my garden. Ooh, man, it's smelly. Suppose that's good news, though. All right, anyways, I just wanted to give everybody a basic look at what it looks like about 7 days into the process. Getting this all mixed up. Oh yeah, there we go. You guys need smell-o-vision.